Good evening, this is Atmospheric Alex here. Yes, I have finally returned. There's not been much to talk about over the past week or so. So here I am, back with you all. We're going to be talking about this major atmospheric river event of rain, mainly rain out in the west, and snow as well for higher elevations, and then the return for severe weather for the the Ohio Valley. Wait, oh yeah, we'll get into that later in the video, because believe me, it is a little bit bizarre. So to start off today's video, we're going to be looking at weather-wise here for our major rainfall event in the west. So I normally don't cover areas out here, but since there is a lot of active weather about to move through, I thought that I might as well should. And maybe there is someone watching this video who is from, say, California, so I'd like to let you all know what to expect here. So for today, we're going to look at our excessive rainfall outlook, where we're under a marginal risk. Not much rain today, but as we go into tomorrow, yeah, you got that slight risk that begins to unfold. So definitely some flash flooding concerns throughout this whole area, especially in your higher elevations. And just once again, tomorrow's risk of heavy rainfall includes cities like Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, it looks like, Stockton getting on there, Santa Rosa, again, even the lower elevated areas, especially through the Central Valley. And going on through into Sunday here, we are seeing yet another slight risk for flooding here, or I should say excessive rainfall across the same areas. They really need to issue a moderate risk, though, up in the mountains. You'll see why when we look at our models. I am kind of floored that they haven't. I'm actually a little bit concerned about why they didn't. You'll see. Definitely expecting 10 to 15 plus inches of rain in some of your higher elevated spots. So again, same deal through Central Valley. We're now including Eureka, Redding in here, Susanville, Red Bluff, Chico, Oroville, Lakeport, Truckee, getting closer to Reno, Carson City as well. It looks like Sacramento is going to be a little less affected as we go into Sunday as we see it shift north. And now for your actual rainfall forecast from the Weather Prediction Center here. Take a look at some of these values, especially as we look at our target area through here. We are talking about a lot of rainfall, folks. This is going to be rather serious. You could see in some of your kind of like coastal mountains and foothills here, talking about 5 to 8 inches of rain. This is only over the next 5 days. So I didn't even want to go a week out. It gets more uncertain, so we're sticking with 5 days. In the mountains of the Sierras and in the sloping areas, is we're talking about portions of your southwestern Sierras, we are talking about 15 to possibly 20 inches of rain in your higher elevations. And no, this really will not be snow. It looks a bit like a warmer system here. So your snow levels will be extremely high, which means rain will be your dominant form, and just imagine the chaos this could cause for local streams, creeks, overwashes. This could be serious. But yeah, really doesn't get too much worse than this right here. So now we're going to take a look at our models here. We're going to take a look at a European model to see it just already starting to rain across these areas. See it pouring rain going into tomorrow night. I mean, it's just rain, rain, and rain, and even more rain. What he was doing by my house today. We needed it, though. So do they, but this is a lot. So you could just see this fire hose set up here. Let me back it off a little bit. Just this constant stream of moisture here, and it just pummels this area here of central, even portions of northern California here, with just tons and tons of rain. Definitely quite a situation unfolding here, and this just continues. You get a little squall line that even pushes through, maybe some pretty strong winds, heavy rain, even some embedded thunderstorms would not shock me. We'll just have to see on that. Going into Tuesday, this finally moves out. So we're talking here about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all right, of light, moderate to even heavy rainfall across those areas. Absolutely phenomenal, in the wrong ways, obviously. And your GFS model here is going by 6-hour increments, so there isn't less rain here. It's just going in different timestamps. So you could see, luckily, this does seem to push a lot further north. You can see this fire hose effect really missing Central California as we go into Sunday and Monday. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope this happens. We don't want this fire hose to set up over an area for like 4 or 5 days straight. We want it to be moving around and kind of all over the place, if you will. Very unstable. But same exact ordeal here. A lot more snow for your higher elevations. I would like to note this. And yeah, overall, lots of rain on the menu. So a lot of relief for where that came from with your current drought. Now, for your NAM 3km model, your high-res models here, same song and dance. I'm just going to go through this fast. We're going to go through our HRRR model just a second, but you can see this fire hose lifts off to the north, and this would be fantastic news for areas down here in Central California. Because if it were to be stagnant, if it were to be stable over that area the whole time, we'd be talking about a lot more issues down the road. And now for our HRRR model here, again, snow levels are even so high that Redding is seeing rain, so that is something to note. But just constant rainfall, light to moderate, even heavy rain, especially as you go up in your higher elevations here. Blue Canyon, really heavy rain. Reno getting on some moderate heavy rain. And above all that, heavy wet snow just pounding down in Sierras. But just take a look, and even, like I said just before, some thunderstorm activity cannot be ruled out. Some of these smaller but heavier cells as they move through the Sacramento area. Potentially going into tomorrow and night. And just these streamers of rain, yeah, take a look at this. This even, for some reason, shows a supercell. Yeah, not going to get naders up there in like Mammoth Lake or anything. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But like I said, thunderstorm activity. Just kind of be mindful. If you seeing lightning, hearing thunder, don't freak out over it. It could be possible with this setup. And this heavy rain just continues to roll through these areas here. Moving further south, again, really have the same ordeal. Snow in the higher elevations, rain in the lower elevations, right? So a lot of you all are probably quite confused as to why there isn't going to be much snow with this system. You're like, well, it's only confined to the highest elevations. Why is that, right? Funny you ask that. This right here is what we like to call a Kona low pressure system. Here's Hawaii down here, for those of you who might not know. Hawaii is down there. You have a low pressure system here called a Kona low, comes out of Hawaii. And what's in front of this is known as the Pineapple Express. And no, this is not a made up term. This is a really well-known term in the weather community, even the professional weather community, the National Weather Service. I've heard, folks at the Weather Channel, Weather Nation use these terminologies before. Basically, a big streamer of precipitation out front of a low-pressure system that gets ejected off to the east at rapid speeds. That is what causes your Pineapple Express. And I want you all to think of it like this is coming up from the southwest, so we have warmer sea surface temperatures right through here, right? And above all this, we have colder sea surface temperatures. Get that line? Well, all of your rain, your moisture, is coming out of your warmer sea surface temperatures and getting ejected into California. With your warmer air at the mid-levels and aloft comes the potential and likelihood for more rain than snow in your higher elevations. So just a little bit of basic meteorology there. And considering that the same low-pressure system produced multiple strong water spouts off the Hawaiian coastline, it's no wonder how much warm and moist air will be packed with this. How about your total rainfall amount? So let's look at the European model first, and yeah, we're talking about a lot of rain, especially in your higher elevations. Look at that there, 12 to 15 inches of rain. My goodness, this is over the next, I think, about 6 days from what I can see. And yeah, another hot spot here is along your foothills and coastal mountains. We're talking around, 7 to 9 inches of rain. And then in your Central Valley locations, in between 2 to 3 inches. And how about Southern California? 1 to 2 inches in your higher elevations. So your fires, if they're not already, will be put out, hopefully, fingers crossed that this rain can move down there swiftly and put out any existing fires. Your GFS model here going a lot more aggressive, up to 20 inches in your higher elevations. We really don't want to be seeing this. That would cause a big time mudslide, landslide, rock slide concern, and substantial major flooding in rivers, creeks, and streams along the foothills. So yeah, and all that will be spilling into local valleys as well, and possibly even communities. Be very cautious with this rainfall event, especially if it overperforms. And this model also wants to dump about a foot of rain out for your coastal foothills and mountain regions. The most aggressive scenario, even 3 to 4 inches in your central valley. Now here is an absolutely awesome graphic from the National Weather Service of Sacramento here. This is your rain forecast here from Friday to Sunday from the experts, right? And of course there's a lot of info to take in. We're talking about a moderate valley impact here. Slick roads and ponding of water on roadways. So again, if you come up to a flood roadway, please turn around and don't drown, folks. That is my advice to you all and from the National Weather Service as well. Another thing here, longer than normal commute. So please, just leave for work early in the morning if you can. And then of course, rises on rivers, creeks, and streams, flooding as well. And they're not really too keen on significant flooding here, but again, this is why we gotta watch trends between the models and the forecasts just to see if we do see an overperformance. That's what we're concerned about. Okay, now for your snowfall forecast here. Slick roads and minor travel delays. You all are probably used to this by now. If you live up in the mountains, you know how to drive in this stuff. If you don't, then you probably should move, because you'll have to deal with this for quite a bit longer here. We're talking about 5,000 foot snow levels on Friday, rising up above 7,500 feet Friday night. And yeah, just really high snow levels in general. For your higher elevations, just expect between, I'd say, 6 to about 36 inches of snow. So really 1 to 3 feet of snow in your higher elevations. Some of your absolute highest peaks here could see up to potentially 8 feet of snow. Believe it or not, that's a lot, isn't it? Even over here, talking about 8 feet in your higher mountains. I mean, that's basically normal for you all at this time of year, though, so I wouldn't be too worried about that if I were you. Okay, now here's something completely different from what we've been talking about thus far. This is your Colorado State University's severe weather AI guidance here. It's basically another way to forecast severe weather, and I wanted to bring this up because, yes, severe weather chances could rise for the Ohio Valley and even the southern portions of the Midwest. Unreal stuff. At this time of year, early February, get out of town, that's crazy. But yeah, a 15% chance of severe weather here from this guidance. Not a forecast, okay? This is strictly a model guidance here from other sources. Please take this with a huge grain of salt, as this is not from the professionals, just another model to look at. But yeah, definitely some severe weather chances from Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. It looks like northern Kentucky could in as well. And in these brown areas are a very low chance for strong storm activity as well. And obviously, your Storm Prediction Center has absolutely nothing on the board for this time frame yet, because there's too much uncertainty and too low of a potential. Why on earth are we getting severe weather in February, you might be asking? It's your temperatures. That's part of the equation. You can see as we continue going through time, look at this big warm up here. 70s and 80s across the plains. That is insane. Look at that, 86 degrees. Could even breach 90 degrees on Monday across portions of Texas and Oklahoma. Wow, I mean, I'm almost a little bit jealous myself. I would love to crack open that pool already and take a little dive because, man, it has felt like a very long time. 70s across the entirety of the southeast. Wow, we were not talking about this in the last weather update. We were talking about heavy snow down here. Wow, Mother Nature just cannot make up her mind this winter, I swear. And then even the areas that are usually warm, like Arizona, peaking up in the 80s as well. Unbelievable stuff. Continuing through time, going into Tuesday, just unbelievable. I mean, whoa, you could be up here in Wichita, Kansas with a frigid 32-degree high on Tuesday. Or you could be down here in balmy Dallas, Texas with a high of 80 degrees. Unbelievable. That temperature difference, that short temperature difference there is insane. And this warm-up continues to persist. Look at going into Wednesday, definitely could hit 90 across these areas. Don't see why we wouldn't. And into Thursday, your main severe weather system here, take a look at that, 70s and 80s here across, well, portions of the Ohio Valley. And look at that, going into your Appalachians, just really nice warmth weather. Really nice warm weather coming into view here. Cold front comes through, crashes, ruins all the fun. Yeah, it's February. It's not May yet, okay? Just don't get too excited. How about your moisture return? All you gotta know is your greens and your blues and your purples are really favorable for severe weather here. And yeah, you could definitely see moisture return streaming out of the Gulf. You saw in the thumbnail I was drawing all these green arrows, right? Well, basically, that is exactly what's happening here. Lots of moisture return out of the Gulf. When that mixes in with the frontal system, boom, you get severe weather. Certainly quite an intriguing setup here going into Wednesday, Thursday, potentially even Friday of next week. Alright, well, with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I apologize if I was a little bit rusty because I haven't done this in a while. There has been nothing much to talk about over the past almost 2 weeks at this point. Just really quiet out there, and I've been enjoying it, you know? It's nice to have a little bit of a break every once in a while, but I should be a little more obligated to get these uploads out as soon as possible. That being said, if you liked today's video, be sure to smash the like button, to subscribe to my little corner of the weather community, and comment down below if you wish on what part of the video you enjoyed best, and if you want to see any more improvements from me in the future, please let me know. Alright, and I will see you all in my next video. Have a wonderful night, everyone.